So good morning guys and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to answer a very important question. So the question I want to answer today is whether or not I can improve on the way that I cook beef short ribs. Now I cook some amazing beef short ribs. In fact, in this video here I do share a lot of tips on how you can get some amazing beef ribs, but I want to challenge some of those traditional assumptions. So as you can see, I've got 3 sets of ribs in front of me. The one on the right, or my right, is a totally traditional set of ribs. So I've taken silk skin off, I've taken the fat off, and I've seasoned up, but the membrane is being left on the back of the ribs. So that's totally traditional. The one in the middle is exactly the same, but I've taken the membrane off the back. And the one on the left, again, totally traditional. I've left the membrane on the back, but as you can see, I've cut them into individual bones. And that's it. So that's the experiment. I want to see whether or not doing it a traditional way still produces the best short ribs, or whether or not these other two are exactly the same, totally different, completely rubbish, perfect. We will see. I've never done this before, so I'm going to learn as much as you guys. So without any further messing around, time to get these on the pit and get them cooking.
Now I'm running the pit at 250 degrees Fahrenheit today. Not placing these in any particular order, and I plan to move them around as and when needed, and I'm going to check it back in about 2 hours.
So don't forget guys, if you like what I'm doing in this video, please subscribe to the old channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps the channel out. So thank you very much, I appreciate it. Okay, so it's been an hour and a half at the moment, and I've just switched these 2 sets of ribs around. It's cooking hotter over to the left hand side near the stack, so I'm just switching it around so I can get some even cook. But as you can see at the moment, we're getting some really beautiful colour. The bark is sitting absolutely fantastic. That's one of the beauties of seasoning the night before and then letting it dry brine in the fridge overnight. But you can see here, these are all looking great. So this one here, which will sit over the pit where it's a bit cooler, you can see it's a lot more squidgy than like this one. So this one has already gone through that stage, and the meat is starting to firm up and it'll start to pump out the moisture. Now you can see a little bit starting to collect here, but the individual ribs, they look incredible. Got bark all over them, sitting really nice, they're looking good. So these are being on for 4.5 hours now, and as you can see, we have got an amazing bark on here. We've got some gorgeous pullback, even side on the single ribs as well, and on this one as well. You can see these are looking fantastic. Now the bark is absolutely incredible. I've not actually spritzed these at all. I was thinking about spritzing this one here, but actually turns out perfect anyway. And they're all temping around the 163. See there, 163 on that one as well, and this one, so it's about 170. So as you can see, it's a perfect time to wrap. So that's exactly what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take these off and I'm going to wrap them all up, and then I'm going to bump the temperature up to 275 and carry on until all these are finished. So I'm going to show you how we're going to wrap this. I'm going to do the first one, and the other two will be absolutely identical. So I've got 2 sheets of unwaxed butcher's paper, and in this spray bottle I've just got water, nothing else. So what I'm going to do is just give this a bit of a spritz down, just because it makes it easier to work with, and also where you spray them and overlap them, it can like helps them stick together. Next I'm going to get some beef tallow. So this is some smoked tallow that we've done before from other videos, so you see me do this loads of time. Just put a decent amount in there. This is roughly where I'm going to place the ribs to begin with, and this will just add back some of that fat that's lost, and also some of that beautiful smoky flavour that we've got when we first smoked this tallow. Then I'm going to get some ghee. Now I've melted this a bit on the actual firebox, and I'm just going to add in a decent amount of butter, and that just adds a really buttery sort of umami, beautiful flavour. So let's grab our first set of ribs, and as you can see, these are looking absolutely incredible. So I'm going to put them meat side down, and then it's a case of folding over. So fold it in, nice crease, just makes life so much easier. Same again on this side. And then we're going to fold it over, and then I'm going to pull, not too hard because the bones are this side, but I'm just going to pull this in so it's nice and tight and fold it again. This is the bone side down at the moment. So all I'm going to then do is fold it one last time. And then I'm going to scrunch that all together to make a nice tight parcel, and that's it. So I'm going to put that back in the smoker and just put a probe in it, and then when that hits 203 or thereabouts and it's really probe tender, feels absolutely amazing, then we'll know it's done. But at that point we'll talk about resting. So I'm going to do the other two sets of ribs, both single ribs and also the one without membrane, and then we'll come back and see how they all did. Okay, so I've taken each of these until they've hit 203, but more importantly, when I've got the firmer pen and probed them, they've been really nice and tender, and they've got a nice bit of bend in it as well, so I know each of them's cooked in their own right. Then I've rested them probably for about an hour and a half now, and they're down to about 145, something like that. The rest is incredibly important, because if you take this up to 203, straight away take them out, slice them, you're going to get tons of steam come out, and that is all your moisture got, and they're going to be dry, and all that hard work that you put in to get amazing ribs is just going to go out the window. So it's really important that you just let them rest. So once you get it down to about 150, 145, that sort of temperature, then they're perfect and they're ready to go. So these guys are all ready for this like now. I'm going to ask Danny, my friend, who you've seen in the steak oil video, to come in as well now, and I'm just going to show him what each of these are, how they've turned out, get him to try them, which, I mean, I know it's going to be hard for him, but he's going to help me out there. He's going to try each of these, and then he's just going to give me his opinion. Sound alright?
Yep.
Right, so okay, so here's Danny then. So, in no particular order, so I've done them 3 ways. So let's take this out. That's what I like about this, it's almost like Christmas. Whoa. Okay, so this is the first set of beef ribs, and there are tons of juices in there. So this one is the traditional one. So what the traditional one is that you have the fat and silky skin taken off the top, and then on the bottom I've left the membrane on the back, and that is how they work. So if we take a, oh yeah, you know that's going to be good.
So any seasoning or anything on these ones, or are these
Yeah.
just as they?
So I did a mushroom soy sauce as a binder, then it's salt, pepper, and then Sure Shots gunpowder over the top of it, and that Sure Shots does a really nice finishing layer, just adds a really nice flavour to it. So without further ado, it is very cold out here, so it's going to steam regardless of temperature. If I can,
Oh my word! Where do I
allow you
start?
to have a go, you literally just dig into it. That's
Oh
all
my
you can do.
goodness me! Okay, no shine about. Mmm.
Is that right?
That was lovely.
So basically it's like steak on a stick.
Oh my goodness, and so moist. So the different colours.
So this is all the
there as
smoke
well.
ring. I don't even want to show the camera a bit, but here you've got a really nice thick smoke ring. It's beautiful, moist all the way through.
Yeah,
That looks good.
terrific.
So that's the first one. So the reason I kind of like done this experiment, or learned to cook beef ribs in a certain way, and I kind of wanted the challenge to see whether or not that was right. And one of the things that you kind of like get told is that, well, you can't take the membrane off the back because they fall apart. You know, there's certain things that you can't do. So these ones you can see, so on the back here, you can see there, I've taken the membrane off where it actually was on the meat. So the bone I left on it was too much of a mission. But you can see there, I've actually got some really nice bark on those pieces of meat. And you can see here, it's all stayed together, So, and it's got some beautiful bark in there. You can see that it's formed absolutely gorgeous. So again, let's slice another one. You're going to do alright today. You haven't eaten this week, have you?
I just had your chicken inside.
I fed him earlier, that's what I made a mistake. Right, so
Look at the colour of it.
now look, you can see the beautiful smoke ring on that one as well. But there you go, sir. Quite useful, because normally it's me munching away. So what's the texture of that? Could that like seem like it's tougher?
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher, but although it's a little bit tougher, it's not dry because it's still got all the juices and that in the middle of it as well.
Good flavour.
Oh yeah, look at it.
More bite to it though.
Yeah.
So that could be down to the actual, you know, rack of ribs I'm using. In terms of these might be these ones that we tried first, they were thicker, so it might be that. It may be that where the membrane isn't there to protect it all fully, it's dried it out more.
Still good.
So then the last way I did it is I cut them down by individual bone. So look at these ones. These look amazing. These look really good.
Oh my word! Look at the size of that.
I mean, look at that. You ain't gonna argue with that, are you? If they give you that in the restaurant, you're not going to go, sorry, take that, babe, mate, not interested.
I'll be back.
And even like the little ones. Now, what I actually like about this technique is that firstly, they seem to have cooked really nice. They've got a nice bit of tenderness on them, but you got bark all round.
All around, yeah.
Whereas, like for example, this slice that I took off here, you obviously got bark just on one side. You literally got it on the top part. And this one, you got it all round.
All the way around, yeah.
So, there you go. Unless you want a big one. That big one if you want it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, try and take a bit out of that one, I think that's what
Oh
you
man, that was good though.
Right, I want to try this one.
Well, I like it when it's all the way around.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's my favourite.
That was really good. Really good. That'd make some good gravy, wouldn't it? Like stuff.
Yeah. You don't chuck this away ever, it's like gold dust. So, your opinion. So, you've got 3 to choose from. You basically, it should flavour-wise, it should be the same.
Yeah.
But in terms of, do you like it where it's individual bones, so bark all round? Do you like the one where it's just a traditional, so the membrane's still on the back? Or that's the first one? Or do you prefer the second one? In fact, actually,
I think I like it with it all the way around.
so in order, you've got traditional, no membrane on the back, and then into individual bones.
Individual. I really liked the first one. That I think was the juiciest.
Yeah.
However, they're all juicy, but I like this because it's got it all the way around.
So
I call it the bark.
yeah, the bark. So I guess what you can kind of learn from this is that traditional one is the juiciest, where that membrane is on the bottom. These ones have come out, you know, the juiciest. Remembering that they all started off more or less the same weight. Then the one where I took the membrane off, that's drier, isn't it? That's tough, that one. So of all of them, I'm disturbing him by asking the questions. So, so the one where we took the membrane off, that's the toughest. But then the one where we actually, the membrane is still on, but I come by individual bones, then they come out really nice.
Yeah.
So
lovely.
I think I'd actually agree with you on that. I think this is the juiciest one, but actually that's
The most
really nice because
enjoyable,
it's got the
yeah.
most bark. This has been a real success for me because actually I've learned a lot just by doing this.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget, if you do like this video, please subscribe to it. There's loads more like this on the channel. Also hit that like button if you particularly like this video. But really, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. It is free, it doesn't cost you anything, but really helps me out. So a really big thank you for Danny for coming out and giving me a hand. I really appreciate just his feedback. I find it really useful that somebody who enjoys eating barbecue but doesn't necessarily cook it themselves just give me their opinion. I just find it invaluable. And for me, what I'm taking away from this particular experiment is that the traditional was definitely the most juicy, so keeping that membrane on the bottom really seems to have a big impact. The one where I took the membrane off in between the bones, that was the driest. So even though it was still juicy, when you compare it with the other two, this was the toughest one, as it were. And then you got the one where I did them separate bones. We both really enjoyed that because you have the bark like all the way round, literally all the way round. The flavour is beautiful, and I would say it was just as juicy as this one, which is quite weird. So it may be just something to do with the actual, you know, rack of ribs that I chose to cut the membrane off. I don't know, maybe it was a bit thinner than the other two. Seemed all pretty similar when I started, but they've got different fat content, there's loads of different variables. But I really kind of think that, for me, traditional is definitely, you know, the way I'll probably carry on cooking big racks of ribs. But actually, I would quite happily cook them as individual ribs as well. I think they get a really nice like end product, and that bark all the way around is amazing. So I really enjoyed that. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button, give the old video a thumbs up, and go and check out this video where I show you 16 tips that I wish I knew when I started doing beef brisket. But until next video, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you really soon.